can't get anything done because you have too many options? Sometimes the sheer awareness of having so many things you have to do, or even want to do, can keep a lot of people with ADHD from doing anything at all. I'm Bonnie Minku, Senior Certified ADHD Coach and founder of Thrive with ADD. And in this video on how do I get myself to do it, I'm going to talk about why having lots of possible things that need doing can actually keep you stuck. When it comes to work or obligations, paralysis can come from a combination of overwhelm at too many options, coupled with guilt at not being productive or perhaps not starting sooner, which causes indecision of what should be done first and fear of picking the wrong thing, which leads right back to overwhelm and guilt. A typical example of indecision in action is Daniel. Daniel has loads of projects on his plate, 3 that he must do for his clients, 4 ideas for developing his business, and 2 home repairs that he promised his wife. Because he knows he's wasted a lot of time planning and thinking and daydreaming about his new ideas, he feels guilty about work that he owes his client and about the long overdue bathroom caulking project that he promised his wife. Time management experts say to do the most urgent and important projects first, but Daniel's not sure how to determine that, how to choose between his clients, his business, and his wife. His coach says to pick the one with the most urgent deadline, which would probably be one of the client projects. But if he doesn't at least buy the caulk for the bathroom, his wife will say, "You really couldn't get to the hardware store all week?" Meanwhile, his ADHD brain says, "Hey, you really want to work on that app you thought up, don't you?" Daniel starts his Monday by breaking out all the steps in his projects and tries to come up with a plan to fit them all into the week. And that feels exhausting. Time for a break. An hour later, he begins working on a project for client A, though he isn't sure if that's really the most important one. And then he gets an email from client B, which makes him think he better show some progress on that front, so he switches gears. And then remembers the bathroom caulking project, so he runs to the hardware store to buy the caulk. An hour later, back in his office, he can't seem to get back on track, so he starts working on his app idea, doing some competitive research. Next thing he knows, several hours have passed and it's the end of the workday. None of Daniel's morning plans have worked out. He has nothing completed for his clients. A combination of impulsive reactivity, drift, and unintended hyperfocus have led to another frustrating day. By the end of the week, Daniel had stayed up all night to meet the client deadlines. He was exhausted by the time the weekend came and finally started the caulking Sunday night after nagging and resentment, and he lost interest in the app. If you have a similar pattern of indecision defining your days, here's what you can do. Break out the steps of any project in writing as soon as you get it. Try to identify what needs to be done first. Keep those steps in a project folder or visible where you can easily find them. No scraps of paper. Give yourself a target date to complete each step, taking into account your other obligations, including personal commitments. Put those target dates in your calendar or planner, or post them somewhere where you will see them. Then pick the activities that need to be completed this week and focus on those. If you're indecisive and you don't want to start the workday wondering what to do, pick the tasks you will work on each day before the day begins. This would be a good ritual to end the day, or if you feel like planning is easiest when your brain is fresh, then start each day picking your tasks before you actually start working. Chop the tasks up into small enough chunks that you could stick to each activity until you're finished. You can work with your attention span and define the activity as a very short burst, as long as you finish it before drifting or jumping to something else. Shut off any distracting email, social media, or text notifications that pull you off task. Mark off the activity on a progress chart so you'll be very clear what you've completed. That way, you can deliberately jump from one type of activity to another if you get bored without losing track of what you're doing. Watch for the next video coming up shortly, and click on this page to register for the free live webinar training on Wednesday, October 15th. See you soon!